In my last Sunday video, we talked about which anime movies were worth your time. This time, with a little bit of help from my friend Gracie Vivi, link in description, we're going to be covering the duality of My Hero Academia with a video about why it's a good battle shonen on my channel and a video about why it's a good slice of life on her channel. The comment of the week this week is from Mahad Khan, who got the comment of the week for having an insightful comment that mostly agreed with my train of thought, but that won't necessarily guarantee you a spot. Thank you so much for your comment, Mahad. If you want a chance at being the comment of the week next week, leave a comment down below. Make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon so you never miss an upload. And with all that out of the way, let's get into this video. If you couldn't tell by my recent uploads, I like My Hero Academia. Don't get me wrong, it's not the best show of all time or anything, but it's immensely popular for a good reason. One of those reasons is the way the show gives you just the right balance of intense, fast-paced action and slower, chilled-out slice of life. The subject that we'll be covering in this video is what makes My Hero Academia such a good battle shonen. My answers on this range from downright superficial to pretty important, so make sure you stick through the whole video. The real area where My Hero Academia shines as unique is the way it balances intense strategic melodrama with over-the-top final attack moments of sheer badassery. You don't normally think of anything more than the superficial final punch moments. I just did quotations if you didn't know. But if you never get past just that, you'll never fully appreciate all of the hype-ass moments where strategy plays a huge part in determining the victor. Some of my favorite parts of the show are the moments where Deku is thinking about what is about to happen and what he's going to do to counter it. It shows an insight that we don't normally get from other shows, an insight into why the characters are doing what they're doing versus just watching them do what they do. Well, that came out confusing, but I think you understand what I'm trying to say. In other shows like Naruto, which I have praised for having some of the best fight scenes on all of anime, 99% of the time you're just watching a spectacle unfold in front of you, and then maybe after it's all said and done, they'll tell you what happened in an info dump. I'm looking at you, Shikamaru versus Hidan. But I feel like My Hero Academia goes a step farther than that. There's something about hearing what Deku is thinking in that moment that makes the fight feel way more important and real. Well, as real as a fight scene can be from a world where you get superpowers from eating another person's hair. The other aspect of strategy that I personally really enjoy are the moments like Uraraka. Oh god, I can tell that's going to be a hard time, so if I mess it up, just don't hold it against me. You would have never thought that Uraraka could ever have a chance against Bakugo, who has time and time again shown us that he is one of the most powerful students in Class 1A, but through employing a really smart and unique strategy, she almost wins the entire fight by thinking outside of the box. You see, in My Hero Academia, it isn't always immediately obvious who is going to win in any given situation, which is another reason why the fight scenes are so good. You would think that Mineta, for example, was completely useless in almost any case, but he has shown multiple times that he is capable of thinking outside of the box and uses his otherwise weak quirk to do some serious damage against people that realistically are way out of his league. And since we're talking about quirks already, let's hear what Gracie has to say about quirks in My Hero Academia.
Thanks so much for having me here, Tyler. My Hero Academia may not be my favorite shonen, but I certainly love to discuss it. One of my favorite parts of My Hero Academia as a battle shonen is the diversity of the quirks. Now, diversity in different kinds of powers are not all new to shonen. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure has a dramatically different stance, One Piece has a diverse and sometimes odd array of devil fruits, and even Fairy Tail has various kinds of magic. My Hero Academia takes this concept and goes a step further. In JoJo's, how the battles play out really depends on how well the stands match up and what strategies are employed by the stand users. You can't really train with your stand. Sure, you can become more proficient with time, but that's not really training. In One Piece, you can train with your devil fruit, but some fruits just aren't good. Like, what if you have the jacket fruit? You could train for 100 years, and you still just have the ability to turn into a jacket. Some devil fruits in One Piece are just basically useless, and others, like the Ape fruit or the Flame fruits, are always just going to be OP. This isn't to say that strategies can't be used in One Piece to make weak fruits stronger. It has happened in the story, but strategies just aren't a major part of One Piece. Now, Tyler has already mentioned the use of strategy in My Hero Academia and how it gives seemingly weak characters the ability to fight against stronger characters, and I just wanted to highlight and emphasize something. In My Hero Academia, if you train and use strategy, your quirk can be amazing. For example, let's look at Deku's mom. Bear with me, just bear with me here. Mrs. Midoriya has the ability to pull small objects toward herself. Doesn't seem like too much, right? But can you imagine, hypothetically, if she really trained that ability? Can you imagine being a villain, about to attack someone, and suddenly your weapon flies from your hand into the hand of a hero trained in close combat? What if there was a bomb about to go off in a building and Mrs. Midoriya was able to withdraw it safely? What if she fine-tuned her abilities to the point where she's able to pull molecules and atoms toward herself and was able to drag villains away from civilians? This is all speculation, of course, but what if? Just what if? A good canon example of a weird quirk being used in battle effectively is Tamaki and his quirk Manifest. On the surface, it seems like a dumb quirk. You can turn your body into the food you eat. It seems kind of pointless, not the kind of quirk that a hero would have. But Tamaki trains and is really smart about his quirk, and can not only use his manifested powers effectively, but even combines parts as well for maximum effectiveness. Tamaki does well in a fight because he has trained his quirk and uses his intelligence. And because his quirk is so weird, the fights he's in are both visually and strategically interesting. And that is the amazing aspect of My Academia's battles. The idea that any quirk, no matter how ridiculous or useless it may seem, could be something terrifying in battle. It also ties really well into the themes of the story, so there's that.
Thanks, Gracie. Another way that My Hero Academia succeeds as a battle shonen is in its attempts at making you genuinely care about the characters, which leads to each altercation they get into feeling like it has a real sense of danger, even though you know that it's a shonen and almost nobody ever dies. Or rest in peace, Sanji. The way they accomplish this, outside of all the slice of life aspects, is by making each character feel like somebody you may root for if they had their own show. Even characters in Class 1B are likable enough to make me root for them, and they have like no screen time outside of the joint training arc. Back to the main cast. Even characters that seem like someone you should root against, like Bakugo, have moments that make you rethink your initial judgments of them. I mentioned this in my Bakugo video, which, by the way, if you haven't yet, check it out. Shameless plug. When he gets abducted by the League of Villains, I thought that he would betray everyone, and I was fully prepared not to like him anymore. But what happened instead is that he stuck to his guns and proved that although he's doing it his own way, he doesn't want to be anything less than the #1 hero. Although not every character starts out as likable, Bakugo is proof that your opinion can change, and sometimes a character can provide much more for the show overall if they are portrayed from an atypical angle. In my opinion, this is the reason why the Deku versus Bakugo fight is so memorable to me. This fight was the result of over 60 episodes of angsty frustration from Bakugo and pretty close to a 180-degree tonal shift in Deku's confidence. My point in saying all that is that the fight scene only felt as dangerous and impactful because we have grown to really like both Deku and Bakugo. Not to mention, every time Bakugo is on screen in a battle, you know it's going to be good. Quickly, I just want to throw in one more little point that I think is definitely going to add to the overall show in terms of it being a good battle shonen. It's flashy. One of the reasons people watch these sorts of shows is the pure spectacle, and My Hero Academia delivers on that front wholeheartedly. This show is done by Studio Bones, and boy does it show. Studio Bones is known for their ability to take a fight scene from a manga and translate it into something even better, something that is way more difficult than you may anticipate. How do you take a two-dimensional, black and white series of pictures of two characters punching each other and turn it into something as stunning as the All Might versus All for One fight? Well, that's a question for Studio Bones, not me. Hope you all enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to hit that like button and make sure you subscribe with post notifications turned on so you never miss an upload. Huge shout out to Gracie Vivi for doing this collab with me. Her link is in the description. If you haven't already, make sure you go sub to her. She makes some really unique content that you won't find anywhere else on YouTube. I will see you all next Thursday. Bye!